Yeah, serious ordeal. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit, y'all. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know if I'm be able to fix it. It's saying I got 2 minutes left. I may have to just fucking redo it. It's not gonna affect this, but it is gonna affect my
Oh yeah, I've been offended before.
so to restart it. God damn it. And I ain't even high. I swear to God, I ain't smoked nothing this morning. God damn it. Okay. Let me do it real quick. Fuck it. Y'all gonna have to call back in. I apologize. Y'all heard it. It said goodbye. I had to go ahead and end it. We're going to go ahead and set it up. This is going to be an interesting story. I do not want y'all to fucking go anywhere, okay? I want y'all to stick in here with me really quickly because you don't want to miss this shit. You don't want to miss this shit, okay? Okay, wait. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't handle them dead air, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep going. So, look like everything's saved for me. Oh my God, I ain't gotta go back in. Just give me 2 minutes, 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 2 minutes. Almost done, almost done. Sorry, I swear I had all this shit set up. I was like, okay, cool, I'm good, I'm good. Nope. Come on now. Give me a minute. Don't judge me. Y'all know a bitch be struggling over this motherfucker producing the shit by herself. The shit is, here we go. Go. He laughing and shit. Yehuda has such a great personality. I absolutely love him. He is the bee's knees. I think it's been so long since I fucking used this shit. But we are getting ready to go on air right now. As far as the blog talking, we're gonna go and pick it back up for everybody who kind of just joined in and was missing it. Y'all got about 30 seconds before you can call back in. All right, we back on track. We back on track. We back on track. Okay, there we go. Y'all back on this motherfucker. Y'all back on this motherfucker. Okay, it's gonna be live in like 20 seconds. Okay. The OA is so good. The OA is so good. I'm going to watch it over again. This is not that question. Keep your questions, please. Thank you. This is not that kind of show today. So, here we go. 6 seconds. Countdown is real. Oh, shit, I got it. I ain't even called the log in. God damn it, I'm tripping. Y'all, my mind be everywhere. Y'all be thinking I be joking, and I really the fuck don't. I really the fuck don't. I really don't be knowing what the fuck is going on. Let me enter my host pin, y'all. Don't start calling me. I'm not on it. It's Sunday. Get off my phone. Start your show now. Oh, thank you. Look at that. And she got an English accent. Oh, let's let her count down. Shit. Okay. There we go. And there he is. Okay. All right, y'all. So, okay. So, I was introduced to Yehuda. He shares with me all of these things that he thinks that I am, thank you, Yehuda, that I am a part of his tribe. I am one of the lost children of Israel, is the way that he showed it to me. So then he began to tell me his story. Here we go. So he told me that he was a mystic. He had mystical abilities, meaning he was gifted. He told me he was gifted and he had the ability to, quote unquote, he said, I can turn water into wine. I said, damn, that's interesting. Huh. At the time, I was still a Bible thumper, and I said, oh, Jesus, that is crazy. Jesus was a mystic, too. He said, yes, I was a mystic. He told me, because, okay, let me pause, right? Let me back up. You would have said, back them up for a moment. Tell them about this. Okay, so I'm going to tell y'all real quick. I kept drawing, because I'm an artist. Those of you who know me, I'm an artist. You know I draw. I kept drawing a picture of a man with half lion, half man face with dreadlocks. I would draw it everywhere. I still to this day draw it. I have no understanding. But I kept drawing it. So then when this came about and I finally met Yehuda and he started to explain to me who he was, he also told me that is why I kept drawing that picture. He was a shapeshifter. He had the ability to shapeshift from man to lion. He actually was part of a tribe that was actually shapeshifters. They were black people, if you will, if we got to put a title of melanin on it. They were cosmic beings, and they had the ability to shapeshift. There are still many of them are around. They are the lost tribe, okay? And they shapeshift from different animals and things like this, from wolves to birds. It's a lot of them. We just don't know them, and they keep themselves safe. They keep themselves covered. As I'm talking to you right now, Yehuda's telling me some of that, some of the characteristics or something he's saying was used in the movie Black Panther inside of like the indigenous people of Wakanda. He's telling me that there's a lot of truth and symbolisms in there. Now, when I started to explain to my Black Magic group this morning about who Yehuda was, because people, wanted to know, like, is he just for me? He is not. So, Yehuda's story was stolen. When I tell you this man, this being, this lion, this beautiful spirited person, Yehuda is the most gentle being that you can work with, and he is super big and intimidating. And if he roars, this whole motherfucking building is shake. You hear me? But his story was stolen. Yehuda father's name was Yosef. His mother's name was Naizinga. He had a wife named Inzinga. His wife and himself had 3 children. He had 2 boys and a girl. And he was, like I said, he would do shit for the people of his tribe, of the community. Like, of course, turning the water into drinking wine, as he says. He would heal people. He would show people how to use their energy. He would show people how to channel. He would show people how to speak into the spirit. He would show people all of these different things. Okay? And the Pharisees, if you will, did not like that. They kept trying to stop him because, see, Yehuda tells me he didn't just stay in his tribe. He ventured out. He spoke to people. He traveled. He didn't just stay with his tribe because he felt like he could walk freely. He didn't give a fuck about none of that. Because, why? Because he was powerful. He came with a lot of power. He walked with the spirit. He understood who he was. But he was changing things. He keeps telling me he was inside of a movement, and they did not like that. And they he's talking about something about they were warned that he would be a problem, or his kind would be a problem. Like, this story goes so fucking deep, okay? Now, he's showing me the beings. It's not even the beings that we think. When we see genomes, these are not those kind of genomes. These are not the same genomes. This is powder. Their skin is like powder. They have bald heads. They have extremely blue eyes. Their eyes look like piercing blue, like blue energy almost. I've dreamt about them before. They came riding up on white horses on my dream, and when they got off, they started sucking blue energy out of my mouth. But that's a whole nother dream. There was a different lifetime that they had showed me. But these beings, they when they were being depicted, they were not being depicted as they really looked, okay? They were extremely, extremely pale and pasty looking. But he says, but not all of them. Some of them look like the genomes as we know them right now, okay? And a lot of genomes get upset when I say that. It is simply because, I don't explain it right now. Yes, thank you. I should. Don't explain it right now. We'll come back to that later. But, okay. So he says his genealogy is great. He still have children of his children, of their children, of their children. He says a lot of you on here right now are my children. He says my seeds, flesh of my flesh. Okay, Ashe. And so, go ahead. Let's go into it. So they were very upset, and they didn't like the shit that he was doing, and they wanted him to teach the people in the way that they wanted him to teach them. They wanted him to be a traitor to his people. They they couldn't even hardly get close enough to him to speak to him. First of all, let's say that, okay? Because of who he was. When I tell you Yehuda came with power, he came with power, he walked with power. You understand? And he said that Elohim. He came with power, he walked with power, and he was the most gentle person that you can meet. If you needed anything, people were starting to talk about him. I was like, listen, understood, Ashe. People would talk about him, and they would come to him, and he would help them, and then a lot of them would trade on him. A lot of them would, just like, absolutely, Ashe, Yehuda, shit. A lot of them would trade on him, and if he didn't do work for him, they would be upset. You know what I mean? They felt like he owed them something, or, because you have this trait or this gift that many of us can't access because they had already been downgraded. His tribe was not downgraded. Their pineal glands had not been calcified. They were, he said, fresh from Atlanta, so to speak. Are you saying? You ain't never told me that. Well, he said it's a lie he ain't told me. Go ahead on, Yehuda. Always laughing and shit. He's so gentle and sweet and loving, and I'm sure he works with a lot of you. He is not just my Yehuda, although I love him as if he is just my Yehuda. He is not. So I'm just going to tell other people, because what they did to him was wrong, and this is why. His story was stolen. His story was stolen, and we're going to continue, but I'm going to say it, I'm going to put it on tape. His story was stolen and given to a blue-eyed genome, and his name was changed. His story was depicted and changed, and unfairly so. You know what I mean? But okay, we're going to keep going. So they wanted him to work and do the work that they wanted him to do. And he, not necessarily wanted to do that. He did it based off of, he says, the source of spirit, the energy, the cosmic beings, because they were he was directly in tune and connected to the planetary source, is the way he's saying it to me. He's calling it the planetary source of energy, of the cosmos. He says that was a great question about the Atlantis people. He said, not at this moment. We're not going to go into it because he don't want to stop the story. So they were looking for him. They were looking for him. They had approached him several times. He said almost threatening him to either do it or else. But they didn't know. Yeah, okay, because period, Yehuda shit. Let me turn on this light. He said they didn't know. See, they got shapeshifter until they ran up on his ass and he shifted into the lion. And was I could see them standing back. Everybody looked scared, and he is a huge lion as well. When I say big, I do mean fucking big. And they were scared of him. And so, thank you, right? He says they didn't come back to him again until they was fully prepared, because they didn't know. Okay. He's talking about them learning about his tribe after that. He said once they saw that they didn't just come back and kill him, he said this happened well before. Oh, he's talking about some of this. Oh, they knew about you. He's telling me he could do shit as a kid, and his family. They like showed people. It was almost like they were. I don't want to say entertainment, but kind of like entertainment. They entertained the people who were not from that tribe who could not do that. He's telling me they're. Oh shit! Come through with the come through. But he just paused. No, you can't go far. Wait, stop. He showed me what we spoke of about Mother Dina. Okay. So he showed me there is a tribe of them that shapeshift, and they would go and they would interact with the people of the water and the people of the dirt and the people of the fire, like the movers who could work with that kind of energy. Those are different mystics. They come from a different tribe. He said his tribe could shapeshift. So he's telling me that there are several tribes that are broken up with different powers.
Yeah. I'll leave it alone.
Oh, so as a kid, he's talking about they had moved. He's using a word, he says Nazareth, for the lack of a better term of the real name of the genealogy that was stolen. For everybody else's sake, he keep calling it Nazareth, and then he's saying, but it's warm land, it's hot land. Okay. So as a kid, you were doing things, and the word had traveled. So they had knew about you. They had been looking for you because y'all were no longer with the tribe because y'all didn't have any fear, is what he's saying. Like, he didn't fear. He said, no, if you could see his father, I feel like his father, he keeps showing me a gorilla. Like, his father could shapeshift into a gorilla. He says they are a tribe of people that are not to be played with. So I'm trying to understand when they captured him, because they captured him, okay? They told him he could do whatever they wanted. That's why they kept coming to him. But if he did it for them in a way that they wanted to control it, they wanted to almost like tinker with him and find out how they could tap into like his soul's power. Oh, see, he says he was special. He was special because he encompassed other gifts from other tribes and shit like that. Like, he wasn't just shapeshifting. Like I said, he was a mystic. He could do other things. Oh, don't do that. Don't fucking do that. What? He said he was personally trained by Mother Diva. And y'all know I can't say that girl name, Lucifer, but we call her Lucifer. But he knows her. They was trained. Oh, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. So are you not really, you were there, but that ain't where your people was from. Your people was really from, okay, the stars or Atlantis or whatever. We all are, okay. Divided, we became divided. They didn't perish then. They didn't perish. There was no need to perish. And once things happened with Atlantis, things things dissipated and tribes were split and people moved. But in this whole time, they had never stopped looking for Yehuda. He said at some point, he kept saying, what is it about me? What do they want? He said he was, I don't want to say terrified. Listen, you talking about you confused. I'm kind of confused, but I'm not confused. I fucking understand it. You got to pay attention. And if you are confused, it's because you have not seen none of my other videos, okay? You say division by destruction of man by powers of a false God come through. He said this goes deeper than what we know. So he's giving me the surface story, because to go too deep, it would do just that. It would fuck up a lot of people's head, he says. So he's going to continue to give me the surface story, okay? And I love it, okay? He said, so he tried to do these things. He tried to help people. He said, but no matter what he did, it was almost like he was being backstabbed constantly. He was being traded on constantly. He couldn't trust anyone. He said, so he went back to work again, trying to make the people see, trying to make the people love. He says he went back to work again. You say you went back to work, you mean like, he said working for the people, doing mystical, changing things. So you have to tap into their power. He says power different. Power is not like it is right now. He said our power is bullshit. He said completely watered down, basically. He said he wouldn't even want to have it the way we have it, because he said because the activation is so low, it's doing us no good. He said he could show us how to activate properly, though. So they finally got you. How did that happen? Because they had came to you. He said my friend. Wasn't really my friend. Someone he took under his wings. But you also see stories of petting or whatever it is. But are you meaning her, or are you meaning no, I know it's more. He said, let me make something clear for y'all. In the times that he's showing me, there were not just people here. There was not just people here, and that just fucked me up, kind of. There were not just people here, because he showed me there are all types of beings interacting, moving with each other and stuff like. He says some of you will not see some of them out, but you know that some people have masters. Now, when you say masters, you mean, he said just what I said, masters, being controlled by others. He said, my people, we was never that. We was never like that. Because he's showing me there are all kinds. There's the pasty beings. There are beings that look like reptiles. There are beings that look like genomes. There are beings that look like the cosmic beings. Like Yehuda has dreads, and he always, sometimes he rolls them. If he's a man in man form, he rolls them up at the top of his head like a crown. But if he's a lion, then he has this huge mane, the way he shows it to me. You know what I'm saying? So there are all of these other beings that keep showing me that are walking around. He don't want to go too far ahead of me, but he keeps saying the destruction that came and destroyed a lot of things. Nothing new under the sun. This is not the first time they've done this with COVID. This is not the first time they've done this. He says they do this in every he's like he's using the word century. So I'm gonna say that in every century or every lifetime or something like they do this. This is what they do. This is not the first time they've done this. He said, this is going to get explosive. He said it does every time, and we fall for it every time. He says he don't know how we keep falling for the reset. Okay, come on. And so, how did they capture you? Because they finally got you. You showed me earlier. I understood because I couldn't understand how they finally captured him. I had never asked him that, but he shows it to me. So he shows it to me now. I feel like they captured one of his children. They captured one of his children. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Y'all know I don't do none of that. You say you out. I'm out. She full of shit. You're always on my live, too. You're always on my live. Okay, there we go. Story is repeating itself. So let me pause for a second, because I want everybody to understand. If you only can comprehend, let me make sure it's turned up. If you only can comprehend that, what you have been told, then the story of Yehuda is gonna go all the way over your head. Now, some things he's just sharing with me, and some things he had already shared with me this morning. Some things he shared with me years ago. I have been on this journey for many years with Yehuda. Whatever doesn't register to you, I don't give a shit about, because this is what registered to me. This is why I don't never tell the story. This is why I keep shit to myself, because I don't really give a fuck about what nobody else thinks. You know what I mean? Because I know what he tells me. So let's go. And then I'm gonna open up the phone lines and we're gonna talk about it. So he's sharing with me that they captured him. How did they capture him? They captured him, he said, by like taking his children or taking his daughter or something. They keep showing me that. And then he showed me that they put him in like I don't want to call it a cage, because he keeps calling it the lion's den, where there were like other people or other lions, and he gave himself up willingly for the sake of his children. Are you paying attention? Where do you think they got the fucking story from? I'm not getting mad. I hate ignorance. Where the fuck you think they got the story from? He was trying to save his children, so he gave himself up willingly. Come on. Come on. Do you understand it? Are you listening to the word? They took his children. They took his children. What do they call us? When they're giving you the story of Jesus, what do they call us? It's making sense to me. I don't know if it's making sense to y'all. It's making sense to me as he's telling it to me, because he ain't never told it to me this way. He is not Jesus. His story was stolen and given to the genome called Jesus. As we all know, that was not his name either. You better wake the fuck up. They took his children, so he sacrificed himself. What were you taught about Jesus? Come on. I'm not mad, Yehuda. I promise. He says if they don't hear it, he doesn't care either. Thank you. They took his children, and to save his children, he sacrificed himself. He gave himself willingly. He says they came and they got him. They held him in a den and made him be the lion, like he was the lion, and they had the thing around his neck. He would shapeshift from man to lion when they would come in. This is the way he shows it to me, because he keeps showing me himself backed up against the wall as a lion with a chain or something around his neck, and they're standing in there, and it's like some sort of dungeon or something. Okay. telling him like they were going to slaughter his children. Now, don't get me wrong, his children were gifted and mystics as well, but they're children. You know what I mean? Still kids. But not kids. Thank you. Okay. Not kids. They were children. They were special beings, cosmic beings. By the way, Yehuda, when I see him as a man, he is extremely dark in color. He just looks like a real dark man, with long dreads. His dreads don't come all the way past his ass or nothing like that. That's not the way he shows them to me. They come to the middle of his back, and he loves to wrap them up around his head like a crown. Now, so in order to save his kids, he shifted himself back to man, is what he's showing me, and they walked him out. Couldn't kill him or something, but he allowed it to happen. The way he shows it to me is like his hands are put behind his back or something, and he got this thing around his neck, or no, they're in front of his being. They're behind him. There's something wrapped around his hands. They put him in the back so you couldn't. Oh, understood. Got it. Which is kind of where they get that from today. Damn, with the police. Ain't that a bitch? He said these are the same. Well, stop thinking that these are different people. Your police are the Pharisees. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, that's fucked me up. Stop doing shit like that. You fucked me up. They took him out amongst all these people. He says various of beings. They had like his eye looks weird. Like they had hit him with something. They're like beating him. They keep yelling, beating the mighty lion. They're beating the mighty lion. And then somebody is like speaking or yelling and saying, like almost like this is your savior. This is who y'all leaning on. Like he's only mere man or something. And they like beating him. And they like if he would have shape shifted on their ass, he could have really killed them. But he didn't want nobody else to suffer. He didn't want them to kill his kids. He didn't want them to pillage the tribes, the villages, you know. He's telling me they have been looking for a lot of his tribe. They wasn't just him, they could just get him. They have been looking for a lot of his tribe. He said that's another thing that Mama Adina was telling us. They're looking for you because they're looking for the various tribes they know. So when she was showing me the 4 rocks, these are not rocks, these are tribes of beings. That if we come back together, she was showing me that. That's what you mean? He said, in a sense, yes. He said it gets a little deeper than that, but I got it. Thank you, Ashe. He said, so I gave myself for my children. I sacrificed my children, myself to save my children. That is where they got the story. And so he's telling me that they took his story, they took who he was, and they gave it to Caesar Borgia's son. He says who was a lover of men and children. He was like, he keeps saying pedophilia. He was a rapist. He says, see, the cover up is real. He said there's nothing new. These are acts. We call it pedophilia. This is who they are in nature. This is why it is the way it is. The priest that you see, he's showing me, this isn't it, only when the children become he says unruly and begin to speak do they make it a big deal. He says this is what goes on in that part. He's asking me not to call out the name of that religion because people will be up in arms, but he's telling me those Catholic priests, I shouldn't have said it, okay, well, those priests, he said I'm messy, no I'm not, those priests, what if they mad Yehuda, then they mad. He said, Ashe. Listen, those priests have been molesting children for years. This is the undertone of how they function. This is not he He says this is the undertone. He says there are rituals and sacrifices. He says stop allowing them to pull a wool over your eyes and tell y'all one thing. When y'all know inside of y'all's being that don't sit right, it doesn't make sense for you all. He said they've given y'all a story of the beginning of history. He said, he says a lot of people tried. He says the story is so great. He says that's why they don't take the time to sit down and tell it, because of those reactions. Like the girl I just blocked that's always on my motherfucking live. And if she meant it another way, she shouldn't have said shit about it, period. I don't care about nobody who disagrees. You have the right to disagree, but you're not going to disrespect me and say I'm full of shit. That's what we're not going to do. Okay? Y'all see it is going in and out. I've been trying to work on this. This is a new ass computer, y'all. It is a Intel Pentium, and I don't even if I'm saying that shit right. I'm gonna let him continue. He's telling me that they slaughtered him in front of his children, in front of his family, in front of the different tribes. They slaughtered him and hung his body up. He said there was no other bodies hung up with him. He says it was him. And there was a child, he said, they had just killed the child looking for, what do you mean? What do you mean when you say that? It's so weird. That is crazy. He said they killed the little child, but the child looks like it's so weird. How was y'all traveling? He said the same way y'all travel. He said the story is great. It's been wrongly told. He said, do y'all really think one person just came up with the idea of a car? Because you have to understand the web that has been created. He said they know everything about the World Wide Web because they created it, in a sense. He said, let me tell you something. Come on, Yehuda. He said, let me tell you something. He said, do y'all really know or give credit to all of the people that were slaughtered and ideas that were stolen? He said, we give credit to things that don't matter. We give credit to people, to beings who don't mean you any good. He has a strong opinion. You ain't never said that to me. Why are you so strongly opinionated on that right now? He said, because this story touched him. He's telling me he had a very, very strong reaction to the police officer who shot the young man in his own home. The female who the judge hugged, who the family hugged. He has a strong, strong opinion about that. I asked him why is his opinion so strong on it. He said because he watched it all unfold. He said they set that man up. This was staged. The police was already around the corner waiting for the call. He said, like was said, they were friends or they were friendly. She knew his door would be open. I feel like she had called him and asked him about coming over there or talking to him about something, that she was getting off work and she just wanted to. we need to just talk about it or something. I don't know. I kept in the beginning of this. It's so crazy bringing this up, Yehuda. In the beginning of this, I kind of felt like they had, like she liked him or they had dated at some point or something. That's what it felt like to me. But he's telling me this was all a setup. Like all of these moves are always strategically placed. He said they playing chess all over our heads, all over our brains. They're playing chess. He says if we were to able to really see the real history, we would see the patterns. We would be able to connect the dots. You could even understand the real players in the game. You would be able to see it. He said this is the Game of Thrones. This is the Hunger Games. He said they have y'all in a movie and y'all don't even know it. He says he's trying to wake up many of us. Yeah, they do lie about history like they lie about all kind of other stuff. They've given us a false ideology, and we just love Christmas. We just love Christmas. We just love it, and we love to spend our money, and we can't pay your fucking bills. It makes me sick at my stomach. It really does. He said that's another topic. He says they've been doing this for centuries, sending people in people's homes. He said it's only getting worse. He said we do this every time. Every stage in a game, we do this every time. When people are awakening and they're seeing it. He said last time, the reset, they used gas on a lot of people, almost as if they sent out, like I seen them throwing stuff with like smoke coming out of it and people like falling to the ground, like, and they set fires. Like he's showing me like the California fires, like they set fires and they do bombings and they put out the plague. He's telling me they are the horses, the black, the white, all these horses, the red horses, like they are them. And they have different, it's almost like if we have tribes, it's almost like he's separating them into that, like these do this, these can do this, these know how to do this, but all of their shit, okay, yeah. Like all of their shit, see, we can't go too fast because they ain't gonna be able to catch it all. He keeps saying that's why the telephone was invented and all this other shit, like, we were still using telepathy. Them motherfuckers couldn't use telepathy. They couldn't use telepathy. So they had to create a system. What he is doing is showing me all the different technologies. And he's showing me people, a lot of our people and gifted people. He's showing me a lot of technologies and how they have had to create certain things that our bodies could do that theirs couldn't do. Like we could naturally speak to each other from distances without needing a telephone. And so they created the telephone. Everything we could do naturally, they found ways to do it with electronics and things like that. He says falsehoods. And a lot of our people are the creators or the genetics behind it, the thoughts behind it, or the creators behind it, the inventors behind it. He's showing me how they have taken a lot of our people and made them use their brain powers to come up with some of these things, or tweaked some of our creations for their inventions, if you will, as Mother Dina put it. Took our creations for their inventions. Make sense? Following? Okay. have to understand how they see us. He says this story is so wide and so vast that we couldn't even sit through it all in 1 hour. We're going to open up the phone lines and get some people's questions. I hope everybody can hear pretty good. So they slaughtered him in front of his family. Like, I almost feel like they did. He showed me them eating his fucking bodies. Like, like his body's being ripped by like animals and all kind of shit. Like they left him out there to be eaten and seen like that. Don't make me fucking cry. Like they hung him up, then they took him down, and they left his body out there, and the animals ate it, and people were not allowed to touch it or move it. That's deep. That's deep. Let's open up the fucking phone lines. Last 4 digits of your phone number, 7875. Who do we have on the line? You're on the line. Ashley, how are you? Tulsa. Yes. Okay, period. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. They better believe. They better believe. Certain things that's going on in my life right now, and I can't understand it, and I just need some kind of guidance. I've also found in classes, I do for, you know, yeah. I don't know if that's a question he can answer. You know what I mean? That would be tapping in and having to tune in and talk to the ancestors. So I don't know. Understood. As you're asking it, they say they can't hear the caller, and I don't know why y'all not able to hear it. I'm trying to hold it as close as I possibly can. But She's basically asking what can she do to, I guess, work with Yehuda. Is that what you're asking? He's basically saying call on him or call out to him, but he's also saying meditation and gain strength. Like you have to be strong and stuff. But I feel like you definitely are strong. He's telling me continue on the same path than what you're on right now. So I'm gonna just let him say that, Queen. But yeah, I really understand, and I understand what you're saying and how you feel. But you're just gonna have to like call out to him and ask to work with him. You're welcome, Queen, to the show. We appreciate it. So I know a lot of y'all said y'all couldn't really hear. But okay, so I have two computers going. This is not how you get on the line. You don't call my regular phone, you call the number that's on this thing. 563-999-3630. And that's how you do that. Also, let me make this statement really quick. If you call my phone and I do not answer on my answer machine, is how you schedule with me. If you keep calling my phone and I am not answering, it's because I'm sending you to my voicemail, so you don't have to wait till I answer to give me your long story just to say how can you schedule. I don't know. A lot of people do that. I have to sit through a 20-minute story just for you to ask me how you schedule, and I have that on my voicemail. I'm not that important, but I am super busy. And so if we could just get that information off of my voicemail, that would be great. I think it's so rude, and I'm going to tell y'all, it's so rude to call me and call me and call me and call me, because sometimes I'm in a session. Sometimes I'm on a Zoom call, and people will call me 20 times back to back, and then I answer like, oh my God, I didn't think you was going to answer. You've only called me 15 times. Of course, I'm getting ready to cut you out. That's why I answered. Okay? So please, be respectful of that. Now, we're going to take another caller. Now, Yehuda is saying, he says, everybody, this is not what he's doing today, okay? He is not getting ready to tell everybody how to spiritually get in tune. Trying to do that. If you have a question to Yehuda, I mean, y'all have to understand. If you have these beings, if I was able to bring Malcolm X in here, would you ask Malcolm X, what spiritually do you need to do? And you know you need to pray and meditate. I don't care who you pray to, because none of that works for me. I meditate and I pray. If that's the word you need me to use, I talk to them. I give thanks. I give offerings. I go inside myself. This is the same thing they're going to tell y'all to do. Do not waste your call to ask this question. Ask something of some more substance, because your answer is going to be the same answer they give to everybody else. I promise you they want you to change your diet, eat right, drink water, okay? Let's go. Now that's a great question. See that? That's the same number calling me. If I wasn't on this damn thing, I would answer so y'all can hear. Says, does he have any connections to Haile Selassie? He says, of course he does. He says, we all, a lot of us do. He's telling me that he was on a scale that was high as well. Like, people get Haile Selassie confused on who he was. He said he was a great being that tried to save a lot of people. And he had to deal with some of these people that he didn't want to deal with for the sake of his people as well. He says, great king.
Yeah, when I worked there, yeah, 18 years.
He said, good question, too. Let's go to the phone lines. Last four digits, 2129. Who do we have on the line? Thank you for calling Soul Connections. Hello. You're on 2129. I don't think you knew you was ready. All right, we're going to leave you be. All right, 2661. What is your question for Yehuda? You are live on the air. Who do we have?
He's moving over in the other building doing MSW, so we don't know when. So this chair, save my chair, please. And I'm like, whoa. You're fine. No, I think they're gonna be gone by this way.
You can't even get a crib. You can't even get the regular express company crib.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be over more.
Okay, so in case they can't hear you, I'm gonna repeat your question. Her question is, say it one more time. Let me see if I can get you closer because I want them to hear you. I don't know what's going on. We have Yehuda. Yes. Is there more that we need to be able to like spiritually connect to?
I would say.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. So her question is there other gods, is there other deities? We have Yehuda, is there other beings like him? So I'm going to listen for that answer because I feel like yes is the answer. There are. He said, I'm telling you that there are cosmic beings, he says, interdimensionals, as well as he's saying gods, they don't like that term. But he says even like those from his tribe as well. Some of them were slaughtered as well. Just it's different stories of these things of what has happened. He's saying, when you go inside yourself and you begin to study your divinity, he says, your soul will open up and will begin to show you your own tribe, and where you come from, what constellation or whatever that is. And then he's also saying that you'll be able to build on that and everything will become clear as to like what tribe you belong to or who you talk to, who you work with. He says you don't have to be from his tribe to talk or work with him as well. And they want to be clear that anybody can tap in or access the natural power to the cosmos, which will lead you to all of the access, will unlock all of the keys, kind of in a sense, if that makes sense. Yes. You said, will they ever just leave us alone? He said they haven't started to yet. He don't know why they do it at this point. He says this is a fight to the death.
Okay, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
Yes, he says there's a lot of sacrifice that will be made.
That's for the dad.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, absolutely. No problem. Thank you for calling in and tuning in, Queen. We appreciate you. All right. I'm going to look at, see if there's a question over here in the chat section. Let's see. That what should we expect with the 1221 portal? Everybody has that same question. Mother Dina told us the other day that it won't be what we're expecting, but it will be what we are expecting. So let's see what Yehuda's thought is on this. In about, and we have 4 minutes left in the show, so everybody is very excited about this portal opening because we do understand that there's going to be a polar shift where our DNA will be unlocked. It's actually being unlocked daily leading up to this point. If you have not felt it, it's because you're completely lost somewhere. But there's been unlockings going on, excuse me, the whole month of December. And then basically he said, we're happy about it, but we don't understand that the portal is opening. It's not just opening for us. There are going to be a lot of things coming through this portal. I feel like they're going to, I don't even want to call out their name, but you know, the people that are going to be using certain, he keeps calling it the Project Bluebeam, but he's also saying there's something else, like another operation that they're doing as well. And it could have something to do with the queen who told me her dream the other day. That might have been named, was telling me about the cowboy and Indians, and then the spirit kept showing me Cowboy and Aliens, that movie, and it could have a lot to do with that. But he's telling me when that portal opens, that's why they're telling us to protect ourselves. He says, y'all don't understand the entities and the energy that's getting ready to come through this portal. It's not going to be all good. It's not. We will have to rise to the occasion and allow ourselves to get these downloads. He's saying water, vegetables, and plenty of sleep. Yeah, I know. He's saying they're holding us hostage here on this planet, but things are going to be changing. He says he don't want us to get discouraged because there is going to be a great awakening. Our powers will be unlocking. Things will be happening that we can't even explain or understand. But he's saying that we have to get knowledgeable that there will be other energies, beings, entities that will come through this portal as well. So we have to begin to get smarter. He's talking about the agents, ops. There's going to be other things that's coming through this damn portal as well. This shit is going to be crazy. Make sure y'all sharing this for me. Share, and I thank you and so much for the love and the support of everybody that was on the damn line. We got 90 seconds on the phone line over here. And I still have, and we'll be able to use that during some of these shows. I'm gonna get all this together. It will go a lot smoother next time. Oh shit! I've got to have Artego come on here. We about to do this with Artego Lucky. So I'm gonna let that die down, and we're gonna have Artego Lucky. I'm getting ready to send him over here this link. So don't go nowhere. We getting ready to switch up the conversation, y'all. I'm about to pull Artego Lucky in. Listen, he's gonna bring in a whole nother, because we have our class tonight. And if you don't know that we have our class tonight, we have our class tonight. Morning Star, Light in the Shadows. The first part of the class is tonight. It is 2 different nights. For those who can't make it tonight, we still have the tickets on sale for tomorrow night. This is going to be so interesting. We can ready to pull Artego in here. Let me send him over this link right now so I can get him up on this damn screen. Listen. Okay, did I just send that to myself? Alright. So let me get him up on this screen, y'all. This shit is gonna. I thought I did. I thought I sent that. I don't know what the hell. Alright. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. And then I think I'm gonna set up Black Magic too. Y'all take an intermission. Go and get you something to eat. Get you something to drink. I'm about to get our Tego Lucky on here. We about to be good. We about to be good. That was a pretty good episode. And I thank you to Yehuda for coming in and sharing his story with us. That was very interesting. And again, for those who don't believe what I say or believe what Yehuda says, that's okay. I don't care that you believe. I'm I'm just not going to be disrespected. You know what I mean? Because I don't disrespect you, you're not going to disrespect me, especially when you're always on my live. If that's not what was meant, then that probably ain't what the fuck that should have been said then. Send this over to Ortega Lucky. We about to get this shit popping. This is about to be so interesting. We gonna bring the father. Y'all know he called himself Father. Father, we about to get Father on this fucking line. He about to come up here. He said he was getting his life together. Alright. Okay. We're gonna get the father up on his horn. Get y'all something to drink. Get you something to eat. It's a beautiful Sunday. I know some of y'all said y'all was rolling up. I'm out. I ain't got none. I might have to call a little mobile. Get on a day and night. I really just want to smoke and just end my Sunday with a smoke and then maybe quit smoking tomorrow. I don't know. That's how I'm feeling about it. We gonna wait for Ortega to get up on this thing. I'm gonna get y'all something to eat, something to drink and shit. I need to run and get me a cup of goddamn ice because I'm telling you, it's about to go down. Don't go nowhere. It's about to go down. I have to call a little weed, man. I'm trying to stop smoking, but the way my life is, I stopped smoking, then I start again. Woo! Let's see. I got a couple. I'm gonna go through my text message a little bit because I had some people reaching out to me about the interview with Yehuda. It says, okay, let me read it. Shay. So somebody sent me this text message. They said, as you're channeling Yehuda, Queen, it came to me that the same way his people would expect him to always do stuff for them because of his gifts and get mad when he didn't always help them, they would get mad at him. This is a message for us, the original mitochondrial people, which is you and others like myself that freely and steadily help people in whatever abilities we possess. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Our time is now. Yes. Yes, it is. And I thank you for that. Yes, we have to start to become a lot more, I want to say activated. Activated. Where is the father at? He said the link doesn't work. Hold on. Let's see. Let me go back. Look this way. Alright. Let's see. We wait. Shay. So let's go to. Let's see. East ATL now, you know better. There's Father. There is Father.
What's up?
Hi, Father.
Hi. What's up?
This is the spirit guide, Father Ortega Lucky.
Hello.
Hey, now.
Hi.
How's it going this beautiful day?
It's going really good. I had a meditation session at my house last night. Had about 10 people over. And we were up really late. So this is really early for me being up, but it was beautiful. But I'm wonderful. How are you, beloved?
I'm good, Ortega. I know Carlos said that it was really good. It was really good. I'm so excited.
It was lovely. Go ahead.
You said it was lovely?
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was exciting.
I already know. So what we tell the people what you about to talk about to get them prepared for tonight.
Man, so tonight what we are talking about on Morning Star Light in the Shadows, me and Queen's event, we're having it one tonight and another opportunity to experience it tomorrow, just in case you're busy. The tickets are available now. So basically what we're talking about is an energetic shift is occurring, and y'all feel it. Like you can't deny it. There's no way you can deny it. You feel something. Your body's really tired, or you're having really bad experiences with people. People are starting to reveal themselves to you. It may, for some of you, it may even seem like things are collapsing. And on the flip side of that, it may seem like this is the best time of your life. Hello, somebody, and it seemingly came out of nowhere. So again, an energetic shift is happening. There is a portal to heaven and a portal to hell opening. Physically and metaphorically speaking. Hello, somebody. So we're just going to be talking about tonight and tomorrow how you can be energetically and spiritually prepared for what's to come, because something's coming. But we're going to put you in a state of being that you can walk through fire and not be burned. You know, because a collapse is happening, and spirit has been preparing me for a message, and I know, Queen, you have received multiple messages about what is to come, but we're going to get you ready spiritually. So why is the workshop called Morning Star? A few weeks ago, when did we meet? Remember when I have Morning Star here with me now. Maybe about 3 weeks ago. Maybe about three and a half. Four. Yeah, about a month ago. I met a young man at a grocery store, and I could feel. I felt a pull, like a connection. It was some deity was in him. I didn't know who it was. Come to find out, it was Lucifer Morningstar. So Lucifer Morningstar, I'm like, whoa, hold up, whoa. I went back.
That's exactly how everybody is looking at their screen right now. Like, what?
Yep. My mind was like, whoa, hold up, whoa. And
well, pause. Wait. Did you watch the video I sent you?
The video. No, I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. Do I need a recap?
You really should watch it before we do this.
I will. I'll watch it. As soon as we get off here, I'll watch it. Because I have some time. I have some time before I need to do whatever I need to do. So I'm going to watch it. But so at this point, he was in my house when I discovered who it was, because I took him under in a meditation, because I knew there was energy that needed to be released. And I also wanted to know who the fuck drew my attention at the supermarket when I met him. And it comes to find out it was Lucifer Morningstar. The story you guys know about him is not his own. It has been manipulated.
Which is why I wanted you to watch the video of the candid conversations with the ancestors, because so I'm glad that he's the person you're speaking to is sitting there with you right now, because the way things have been explained to me, I'm excited to see about how they've been explained to you, or they've been explained to him, or what that is. Because I know that it is definitely an energy, but I do know it belongs to quote unquote the Morning Star, which is male and female together, if you will. And I know
he put his thumb up.
Okay, so I'm gonna just listen, because a lot of this information that they're getting ready to talk about, I do not know, I have not heard. So I'm doing this course with him because I want to expand and see other stuff as well. I'm learning as well, so that's why I wanted to do this course with him. So go ahead, Arte, go.
And I'm not going to talk about too much detail, because I want people who are coming to the experience to actually be experienced. But so I met this young man. I met Lucifer Morningstar, and Lucifer Morningstar actually told me that he knew me. He knew me because I've done this work many lifetimes over. And I knew the young man who was channeling Morningstar that we never talked about besides me being like a spiritual teacher, we never talked about my spiritual past, like my physical body past, like where I've been and what I experienced. So I knew he wasn't playing. And because we had just talked about Lucifer Morningstar and Jesus the night before.
You and I?
Yes, when you and Carlos were on the line talking about how Jesus and Morningstar, and you were saying like, why Morningstar?
Yeah, when we did the live.
why Lucifer and Jesus were both called morning star, referred to the morning star. This was the day after that this took place.
Yes.
So, and we were talking. I told him about the conversation about how I feel like they're one and the same, and he showed me a vision. He said, when you pay the tax collector, does the value of the coin decrease depending upon what side you give it to him on? And I was like, no. He was like, we all one and the same, two sides of the same coin. But that story is not my own. And he also talked about how there's not one being that represents the totality of evil. And many of the demons that people fear are their own demons. They're just taught to place that responsibility on another entity, Lucifer. Hello, somebody.
Hello, somebody.
Hello, somebody. So after the young man left, after Jamie had left, Morningstar came to me energetically, and I just started typing. He gave me a whole passage. He gave me passages as well. And they're going to blow your fucking mind. They're going to blow your fucking mind. And I got something earlier, and I'll go ahead and share this now. He said, the nameless God told you not to access mediums, psychics, astrologers, and things of that nature because they will teach you how to unlock your power.
Yes, I keep trying to tell them.
The same people who they told you not to fuck with, they fucked with.
That's right. But see, people get confused. That's why the fuck she was just on here talking about something. I'm out. She full of shit. You full of shit because you can't open your mind up to understand what is really going on here.
Yeah. Yep. And which takes me to the forgotten, because we're going to talk about them too. Who are the forgotten? It's your ancestors. It's y'all's ancestors who y'all turned against to serve this nameless God. And the forgotten say, you know not who you are, so you turn to their God for guidance and protection, but yet you still suffer. And that nameless God, that is the whole reptilian deity.
Come on. Come on, they don't hear you though. We going to go to church today. We don't go to church.
Hello, somebody. That is a reptilian deity that the colonizers created to put your people in shackles. But y'all want to holler about Jesus, 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 and you still sit here looking stupid. The church will give you just enough to feel good, but not enough to the point where you have to keep coming back to be delivered. You have to keep coming back to be saved. You have to keep coming back. You got to keep giving money. You got to keep coming back. You got to keep giving money.
Too much like right for people to understand that. Why would I ever need? I mean, if you want to go and cut the head off of a chicken, you can. But I'm saying, why would my deity need for me to do that to prove my obligation of love to kill a species of being? You understand what I'm saying? But okay.
How you have me go out here and kill what you supposed to create? How you have me
Come on! I don't care how you bless me.
What's this to that lie? And
I don't care what's going on.
And for me, how can you be so almighty, so powerful, but that because someone didn't do something you said, instead of just doing what you do, you come and kill everybody's firstborn?
Right.
You're a deity, the Almighty creator, but you jealous though? You have a low vibrational trait such as that, like a human, but you're this almighty creator. You should put no other God before me. Oh, so there's more. There's more than just you. And you, if you want to get real specific when it comes to the timeline of creation, why'd you pop up so late?
Yeah.
Because when it comes to gods and deities, I'm speaking to somebody. Hello, somebody.
Come on,
when it comes
hello,
to gods and deities, that energy was late to the party. You are mighty, but you the last one to the party. You the last one people know about. In reference of a timeline, Jamie over here shaking his head. In reference to a timeline, you knew, bruh. It looked like me. You might have to prove yourself a couple of times. And let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something about what's going on in the world today. It's Christians' fault. Let me tell you why. because they give so much thought, attention, and energy to the living in the last days. There's always something to live in the last days about.
Right. Ooh.
It is not, creation does not happen by what you are wanting or not wanting. Momentum and manifesting happens based on what you give thought, feeling, and attention to. Why do you think these people keep going to church? Because they're fearful that they're living in the last days. So reality will always agree.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Period. Look, that name was God.
They said hello, somebody. Wow, blowing my mind, answering a lot of
God is
questions.
late to the party. So we're getting deep into this. I got some passages from Morningstar that's gonna blow your mind, and it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you retain control over your experience.
We don't want to give them too much, but can we give them a passage? Like, can we give them something? Can we give them a little bit?
Hold on.
I want to.
Just don't kick me out. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, score. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Oh,